Hello, welcome back. My name is Sting, your NLP trainer from Wisdom Solutions. Now, today I'm going to resume my class on the topics of meta programs. Meta programs is a topic in the master practitioners of NLP, which is something that is actually quite advanced. So I would like to explain a little bit about this because it is something that is very important to us. Yeah, so when we're talking about our filters, this is one of the most powerful filter in us. So when we talk about filters, what we do remember is the person, is the NLP communication model. Yeah. So I go back to the very beginning. Is that person? They receive the information from outside, which is the external event, and then when the information is coming into the neurological systems, and then inside here there is a lot of things which we call filters. And these filter systems actually reduce, or we call it deletion, distortions, and generalizations of all the information here to make it something that is very, very subjective and personalized. And in NLP, we call it the internal representation, which is the IR, or maybe in the more layman term, we say this is the model of the world, or we say the characteristic of that person. Actually, it forms the characteristic of that person, yeah? And these internal representations is determined by the filters. And where does all the filters is actually coming from? One of them is the meta program, and we did study about the value system from my previous slides. Then it is one of the filter is also the value systems. Therefore, this meta program is a filters that is very contentless, is very unconscious, and is contentless. Meta program MP is a filter, is very unconscious, and is actually contentless. Contentless. So that means contentless, it doesn't mean in what situations. It's actually it applies in every aspect of our life. Then this contentless is different from our value systems. Because the value system, if you follow the other slide, it's actually value system is a filter, unconscious and with content. That is called value systems. So this is what we say, meta program is a filters which is very unconscious but is contentless. Yeah. So I would like to go further. So why, the question asked is actually why we learn this meta program. Why should we learn meta program? Sometimes in life, right, as you are a salesperson or you are a manager, do you see some people with a certain characteristic? You need to sell your product by using certain way, or you want to motivate your agents or your subordinate, whoever works under you, you can't use the same method. Because if you use the same method, the people with a very different meta program, they will reject your motivations. They will reject your motivations. You think your motivation is good, but they will reject, which is very unconscious. They will reject very unconscious. And in terms of buying, right, certain people, they will buy when you say that words. And certain people, they don't buy when you say that word. So this is actually very, very unconscious. So by knowing this meta program, if you are the salesperson, you will be able to sell better. And if you are the manager, so in terms of your recruitment, in terms of your management of your office, of your business, that will give you a very good help. Yeah, that's why we learn this. So what is actually the meta program? As I have already explained just now, it's actually a filters. It's a filters which which the work of the filter is very unconscious, and it is a contentless filters. So contentless filter, as I already explained to you, just now. Now, let's look at the origins of the study of this thing called meta programs. So when we try to learn this meta program, the person that developed and then the persons that developed this actually coming from Sigmund Freud and then his student called Carl Jung. They are a very famous psychologist which have been contribute a lot to the modern psychology study. In his book, Carl Jung, actually he wrote a study, it's called the Psychological Types, published in 1972. And from there, then he started to do a lot of study into this. And the student of Carl Jung actually is a mother and a daughter. They call Catherine Cook Briggs, and the daughter called Isabel Briggs Meyer. Two of them, they study under Carl Jung, the mother and the daughter. And when they study under Carl Jung, they start to see people with certain characteristics. They will have a certain behavior. It's just that funny, It's just that funny. So then they develop something they call simple meta program. Simple meta program, which they have a name after this. They call MBTI. So this is MBTI is actually stand for Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. Now, I think we have listened to somebody that maybe your friend tell you that I am the type of person which is a ISTJ, ISTJ, or they will say, no, I am a ENTP. So what does that mean? What is the meaning of the letters here? It actually means that under this simple meta program, which they call the MBTI, they have certain indicator to a person. Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. So they have certain indicator to that person. Either that person, they group into the four groups. So whether the person is an extrovert or the person is an introvert. So the MBTI, they group it into four groups. MBTI into four groups. It's either extrovert or introvert. Or another one, we call it sensor or intuitor. Intuitor here, we don't put an I because I is already taken, so therefore we put an N. And then the other one is actually the thinker or the feeler. The thinker or the feeler. And then the other one is actually the judger or the perceiver. So this is we call the simple MBTI. Simple MBTI. So from here, actually we have under this category, this person is actually introvert. And under this category, the person is actually the S, which is called the sensor. And then under here, this is the T, is the thinker. And under here, this is a J. So this is a judger. So from here, actually we call the person, that person characteristic is ISTJ. And this has been widely used in terms of corporations. When the people start to want to know another person's, they call it personality or the characteristic of that person, then this is how they use it. Now, today, I'm not going to talk about this a lot more. I'm going to talk about something that is called a complex meta program, complex MP. Complex MP is actually in the syllabus of Master NLP program. And here I would like to teach you about the complex MP. And this is in the Master program of NLP. So, how do we get to know about this complex meta program? Of course, we have an inventory as well. Yeah, inventory. So we have a meta program inventory. Yeah, so usually we just go and ask the questions towards somebody. And then here today, I would like to teach you about a few filters that have been used in these complex meta programs. The first, then we call it the directional program, directional filter. The directional filter is actually very important. Direction filter. Direction filters is a filter that tells you what is actually important about what they do. So this is what is important about what the person is doing. Therefore, when you want to do something to sell something to a person, or you want to motivate another person, what is important is very important. Yeah, what is important is actually very important. You don't do anything that is not important to you. So the keyword here is important. The keyword here is actually something that is very important. So if I want to sell you my course, I will ask you what is important for you to learn NLP from me. What is important for you to know the skill of another person? This is how the person thinks, how the person behaves. Is that important for you? So this is what is important for you. So after you know what I have taught you, do you see that you can actually use it in your career, in your life, in any aspect, in whatever thing that you want to do? So this is we call it the importance. Yeah. Of course, then how we're going to use these directional filters, we focus on what is important. We just ask them questions about, let's say we're talking about the career. So now let's say I ask a person, what is important for you to do your jobs? And that person is going to tell me a lot of answers. Then they say, my job is important for me because I need money. And I need I need to say, I say feed the family, whatsoever it is, feed the family. Now, actually, something like this is actually quite similar, yeah, because feed the family and then the money is actually quite the same. They say, I want the status, yeah, I want promotion, yeah. All these are things. Then we ask, then we know. Then sometimes we will see from the answer, yeah. Let's say, for example, I take this money as an example. So I say I want money. So from I want money here, in terms of our complex meta program, then we will see that this is actually having a deeper understanding, deeper meaning of it, because that person definitely have money now, but why he still say he want money? So that means under this category, under this answer, that person say, I want money for my career, is actually something inside is not sufficient. Therefore, this answer actually indicates to us, we are being trained as an NLP practitioner. We know that when the person gives this type of answer, yeah, it's actually something he has now, but it's not enough. Something he has now and then it's not enough. So what does that mean? It actually means when that person, the directional filters, yeah, it actually means that the person is actually towards and away from. Towards that goal, and then something that is actually inside is away from. Not sufficient actually is something that is away from. Away from meanings, if I need to have money, then this is two directions. One is towards, and one is away from. Something is away from is actually something is not sufficient. And I want money because I want to away from not feeding my family. I want to get money because I want to away from so that I am able to give my son the best education that he deserved. So this is what we say the away from. towards I want money because I want to buy my next car, I want to have my latest handphone, or I want to have my best computer. This is actually something towards, I'm working towards, I'm looking towards, but I want to avoid some problem in my family by using money. That is called the away from. Therefore, when you ask somebody and they give you the answer, we do not take the answer by words for this moment, because you have already been trained. You are now being trained, because when the person gives you the answer of money, it doesn't mean that that person is want to have money. Because inside the money, there will be a two indicator, where one is actually towards, the other one is actually try to avoid, which is away from. So that person want money because they want to avoid from poverty. The person want money because they want to towards for the luxury life. So this is how much we need to identify. So now, the second question we will ask is how much is actually for you to go for towards, and how much is actually go from away. So from one simple answer that given to you, we can actually do a lot of analysis on that. Whether that person is how many percent go towards and how many percent balance go to away from. And when you want to motivate that person, you don't do only one direction. Yeah, you don't do only one direction. You must go two. And then when you do this two direction, and then the percentage of your motivations must be according to their understanding. Must be go according to their meta program. Because maybe some people, they have towards 60% and away from 40%. So when you want to motivate that person to do better in their career, right? You have to help the person to see 60% is actually towards, and then 40% is actually away from. Yeah, then that person will be fully motivated. If you only say away from, so that you won't your kid will be somehow, and then you give a lot of away from, which is a negative scenario in their life, then they will be motivated is only 40%. But if you add on something, you want to buy bigger car, better house, or you put the family to holiday vacations, this is towards positive. Then that person will really charge up another 60%. So when you motivate them, 60% more must be go to the towards, and only 40 is on the away from. Then only that person will be motivated fully. Therefore, when we see people, and even though you want to sell something to them, they will have the away from, they will have the towards in their life. That is for sure. Therefore, when you want to sell something to that person may be thinking of enjoyment, which is actually towards, or that person may be thinking of avoiding something that is actually away from the catastrophe in the life, for example. Yeah, so that they need to have these protections. They need to have this CCTV installed at home. That is, we call it away from. Then we need to put everything into that sales talk, so that the person listens to you, then they will be understand, oh, okay, I install your CCTV, or I purchase the life insurance from you, or they purchase the unit trust from you, or they buy any vitamin from you. That is a good help to them, and then help them to avoid certain problem in their life. And then we need to do that because that is the full spectrum of motivations. Therefore, meta program is something that is very important and is very powerful. It's something that is very important and is actually very powerful, because it is a filter, unconsciously working, and then it's contentless. Therefore, when we understand all this, the directional filters, today, you learn these directional filters. We have a lot more, We have a lot more filters. If you come to my class, then of course I teach you all the filters. And then also I will give you the inventory list for you to understand yourself, and then for you to use it when you need to use it. There are some people being trained here, and then they use this meta program. They memorize all the questions and answers, and then they know certain is actually used for the sales, certain is used actually for the recruiting, and certain is used for the motivations. But then I choose this directional filter because this is one of the most important, yeah, to teach you so that you can use it immediately right now. So after you know all this, you will be able to use it, yeah. So back to that person who learned the meta program. That person actually using this meta program to do the sales. And then that sales is actually increased tremendous. That person is actually a schoolmate of me in the learning of the NLP, and is from South Africa. And that person is actually selling the educational systems. And when that person sells the educational system, the sale is not to individual, but is to government. For example, that person come to Malaysia and then sell the educational system to our Kementerian educational ministry, yeah, for example. And that is in the term of nation they sell. So you can imagine, yeah, that particular educational system, if they successfully sell to a nation, how much sales actually that persons make. And by using this meta program, that person actually developed a huge turnover, the revenue to the company. So this is a tool that we can use it, and then you can use it, everybody can use it, yeah. And today I'm going to teach you one directional filters, and then when you come to my class, then we will have another 16, all of them. I'm going to teach you, and then you can utilize it good enough, powerful enough for you to be excel in whatever things that you do. I encourage you to come to my class, definitely. Come to my class, and then to learn the powerful skill, then you can be using it. My name is Ting, your NLP trainer. Welcome to Wisdom Solutions.